the situation at Chelsea with Antonio Conte, I'll just put this out there. I thought he did a magnificent job with Chelsea last year to win the Premier League. They weren't in Europe. They didn't get involved in the Cups, and they had a small squad. They stayed clear of injury of major players, but they were very convincing. And Costa up front had a good season, scored over 20 goals, despite the fact that he was acting the Egypt with the manager. And now it looks like he's been shafted by the board and he's going to leave. What's your take on Chelsea? Having heard
well, I found it strange because you sell Matic to one of your rivals in the summer.
Yeah.
And then there's a few names being mentioned in the January transfer window where you think, well, do you actually think these guys are going to improve you? So from day one, really, it looked to me like they want the manager out. And I agree with you. I think he's done an outstanding job because I didn't have them anywhere near winning the league last year.
No.
I think he's doing a magnificent job this year because he's still in with a chance to knock out Barcelona. I think they played ever so well against them in the Champions League. They're still pushing for a top 4 spot. There's still a chance they're going to get in. I think he's doing, under the circumstances, I think, again, this year, he's doing a magnificent job. I think he's an outstanding manager. I spoke to people. I watched him at Anfield last year, I think it was. And they tell me that he's working on tactical things on a daily basis. He makes players better. And surely the players know that he's not in the most stable position when it comes to the relationship with Abramovich at the moment. So I'm just a bit flabbergasted. I've got to say what's going on, because if you want to manage out, just tell him bring somebody else in, but don't dismantle him over a period of time, because obviously you sacrifice a season or the success throughout the season. And then, I think we all know what's going to happen. I think there's every chance there's somebody else there next year. And I think you could have solved that whole thing a lot differently. And but I've got to say, I've got no idea why it came to the fallout or why there's a breakdown in communication. Because I think since he's come to Chelsea, he's done a magnificent job.
Yeah, John. One of the things that they say Abramovich has against him is that he couldn't manage Costa and got rid of him by text. In other words, he sent Costa a text saying, "Don't come back, I don't want you." That's one of the things that's said.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, I think everything Didi said there is actually right.
I would agree. I would agree with everything that Didi said there. And I mean, for people, as you saying, people had said that Abramovich was concerned about the way he did it. Now, Eamon, if Abramovich is concerned about where anybody does anything in the position that he's in, and he's sensitive about it, I find that unbelievable. The fact is, they sold Matic, who was one of his best players last year, without
got Bakayoko instead.
Yeah, without his permission. Yeah, right. Now, if you go to one of the main rivals, I thought Matic was man of the match. At the weekend. Yeah,
he was. Yeah.
He's a terrific player. Was a terrific proven player, and they sell him.
Yeah.
Now the writing's on the wall straight away. If you get a manager coming in, first year in the job, does a fantastic job, and do it. Now I think the morale has suffered with what's happened at recent time. Even on the match on Sunday, this is the time where it shows where you're up against it. Manchester United come back into the game, and you really have to go. I think Chelsea collapsed, to be quite honest.
Yes.
And that's a morale thing. A morale thing is something that it's very difficult to define. You're either together or you're not together. And I think what happened with Matic on the summer is telling the players, this manager's not in charge anymore.
Yeah.
And it goes through the dressing room. That's my take on it. I think what they've done at Chelsea has been outrageous to what they're doing to Conte. Absolutely outrageous.
Yeah. And I think everyone in football agrees with that.